It is a troubling reality that fewer men and women are signing up to join police forces around the country. And of course, the goal is to not have to reduce standards and to recruit more effectively. Well, Florida Police Department is responding to the challenge by doing something that seems like basic common sense, changing their policy on tattoos. Here's Eric Glasser reporting for 10 Tampa Bay.
The department's current tattoo policy only allows 50% coverage on an officer's arms, but lots of young people have full sleeve tattoos these days, and the department's recruiters found it to be a top concern among applicants.
We do lose some applicants that we think would be very good police officers.
30% of all Americans have a tat. Among 18 to 34-year-olds, 40%. We're in desperate need of good cops, and we're actually going to keep them off the force because of how much of their arm is tatted up. Yes, apparently there are naysayers like Professor of Criminology Alex Del Carmen.
It's not that the tattoos themselves concern me, but rather what's going to be next, right? What is going to be the next step after that? Are we going to go ahead and waive somebody's background if they've been in prison only for a month versus 6 months? And before we know it, we're going to be putting people in uniform with a badge and a gun that should have never, ever been given that privilege of being able to enforce laws.
What? It's quite a leap to go from someone having a tattoo to someone spending time in prison. It's also just an old fogey response to a cultural shift in body ink. More and more communities don't care if the officers are tattooed. And yet, it seems like the vast majority of departments have some tattoo restrictions. But now, there are some sensible guidelines emerging on body art on cops coming from the Justice Department, which include ensuring that tattoos are not racist, sexist, obscene, or otherwise offensive, don't represent affiliation with gangs or other criminal enterprises. All that makes sense. And apparently there's some debate over where tattoos should be permitted, like on the face, neck, etc. Look, I can see why no one would want to hire a cop with a face full of tats, because that could be scary to people. But generally, I don't really care about tattoos. Let's ask a tattooed former cop, my co-host of On Patrol Live, Sean Sticks Larkin. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you as well.
So what do you make of this?
You know, listen, obviously I am a fan of tattoos. My son, who's a 20-year-old young man, he has covered them himself. When I first got mine, the first couple were underneath my uniform, and we had a policy in place that states they must be able to be covered by the uniform. And so I kind of looked at it. It didn't say it had to be covered by the uniform, must be able to be covered by the uniform. So without permission, I started on my arm. And I was one of the first people in my department that did so. Didn't receive any blowback from any of the management. However, I do believe they should not be in our neck, face, or hands.
Why?
I think there's just a professionalism about that. I know the cultural shift, you know, everybody has tattoos these days, but as a police officer, there are times where you're going to have to testify in court in front of a jury, and a jury is going to be a mix of people from the community. You're going to have the 20-year-old kid that has tattoos. You're also going to have the 75-year-old lady who's not a fan of them because of how she grew up. And I think when you're testifying in court, you should be in a full uniform or a suit that covers up all your tattoos, so that is not a distraction possibly to somebody on the jury.
So what do you make of the Florida policy saying, you know, going from 50% to more on the arm? Your position is basically as many as you want to have on your arm, as long as it's not on your hands, neck, and face?
Exactly. As long as it's not hands, neck, and face. I will say, I was part of our department. We had oral boards for recruits that came in. That's also the place you cover them up. You should come in dressed like how you are tonight, Dan, in my opinion. Come in as a suit. And we'd see people, they would come in for T-shirts, you know, for a career and a profession where you're going to have to wear a uniform. There are a lot of policies you have to follow. And, you know, that's the place also to have them covered up.
You told me that a lot of recruits ask this question about tattoos.
It is. Like I said, you know, as you mentioned, we are trying to get men and women into this profession right now. It is hard for multiple reasons. What really matters is the people that come into the job, can they do the job? Are they professional? Are they doing the best thing they can for their community out there? The tattoo should not be the focus of it. It doesn't hold somebody back from doing what they can do. There just are very small limits that I think should take place.
Well, thank you for wearing a tight T-shirt into the studio tonight so we can get a good look at the tattoos.
Hey, I've got them all over, man. After the show.
Yeah. Well, you did threaten to come in wearing a crop top.
A little mesh crop top.
Yeah.
Get the full effect.
Yeah. And that would not be okay for policing.
No. Undercover, maybe.
All right. Sean Larkin, I will see you tomorrow and Saturday on Patrol Live on the Reels channel.
Look forward to it.
Thank you for watching. Go to NewsNationNow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.